morning, TMS fam. This morning we are coming to you from somewhere very special, a school that is changing lives but also letting children thrive despite their physical limitations. We are at the Westrand school in Krugersdorp to meet the incredible people behind the Pluckies for Pallesa movement. Let's go inside. Hello, baie dankie. I am in the Deputy Principal's office today, Louis Brookshaw. It's great to have you here on the morning show.
Thank you for having us and thank you for being here today.
It's only a pleasure. Louis, how does the admission process work to be part of Westrand School?
So the admissions process in our school, it gets referred to the Department of Education. It's called the CIAS process. So primary schools or preschools identify the learners who have barriers to learning. Those barriers to learning get identified, they get referred, and then through our district-based support team, they get referred to our school. And then from our school, we take these documents, we process them, I send them to my school-based support team with all the specialists. We have the occupational therapist, the physiotherapist, the audiologist, and we process that document. You have to almost be a doctor to read all the doctor's reports. So the psychologist's report, doctor's diagnosis, parental diagnosis. So all these documents are going through the screening process to see if the learners actually do fit for our school. One of the biggest things we want to bring through is that the children are not disabled, they are differently able. Sometimes people say, "Oh, shame, we feel bad for them." Do not feel bad for our learners. Feel immensely proud for them because what they do and what they achieve within their barriers to learning are amazing. So we'd like you to maybe go to our Facebook page and learn a little bit more about us. When you want to get involved, we have outside community organizations getting involved as well. But then kindly, if you want to donate to our school, we don't want to plug that, but it's something that you can, without getting involved, be involved in the school, getting the kids and then getting them what they need, and then also making people aware. And I think that one of the things we also want to speak about is community awareness for job creation. Because when our children leave the school, many of them do not have the job opportunities. We do not have protected work situations for them, and maybe those big companies start thinking about how they can employ our learners as well.
I'm sitting in Miss Ngombe Zulu's office today, and it feels great to not be in trouble today. Ma'am, it's great to be here, and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you so much, and we're highly appreciated to be here, and we thank you so much for choosing our school.
It's only a pleasure. What is the mission and vision of Westrand School?
Our vision is to ensure that all our learners feel inspired and valued when it comes to our innovative education system. We are committed to provide conducive learning environment for our learners to ensure that specialized quality teaching and learning takes place, and also to promote and protect their rights, the rights of each and every one of our learners. And we also are committed to accommodate each and every learner who is scholastically educable and also those who are vocationally trainable, in ensuring that their barriers are accommodated by our multidisciplinary team. We also commit to prepare our learners to be able to live a life and be functional, fully functional in our society, to be able to compete globally. You know, we are living in a world of the 5IR now. They are able to communicate with others via our innovative system in a form of gadgets. We make a difference, one by one, to our learners, today, tomorrow.
You definitely make a difference for your learners, but please talk to me about how important is it to focus on the learners' academics, but also leave space to focus on their physical and emotional well-being at the school.
If you support learners, especially the ones with special needs, physically and emotionally, they have a sense of belonging, you know, and they are willing to participate when it comes to sports, arts and culture, academically. How do we then do that? When you're physically disabled, you start asking yourself questions. Why me? Why am I different from other children? Now, through the school-based support team, that will be informed by the support needs assessment that comes from a teacher. We'll have what we call the independent support program. Independent support program also looked at the holistic needs of the child, including the physical and emotional, together with academic. Now, at a school like ours, we really appreciate what the department is also doing for us. We've got therapists on site. Our physiotherapists, our occupational therapists, they come in handy when it comes to the physical needs of the children. You will never believe that in some cases, some of our children who are wheelchair bound, they do get a chance to stand upright in the classrooms with the support for blood flow. Physically, they get that, unlike at home where parents don't even know how to deal with them. And what's nice about our multidisciplinary team, our social service department, in the form of our social worker, they do home visits together with the therapy department. So the child don't just get the physical and emotional support only at school. We extend that to the home because we know in the communities we still have challenges. But within, because that's where we need to make sure things happen on site. Physically, the physiotherapists, they check if the wheelchairs of the children are intact, nicely supported on their wheelchairs so they don't fall off. Occupational therapy comes in the classroom to ensure that the sitting, the postures are correct so that they can be able to access education easily. And we also participate in sports, by the way, because our life skills allow for physical education. Now, physically, we make sure that they do exercise. Believe you me, we have just got medals from our Toyota National Championships. So it's very key to take care of the physical and emotional. And when you do that, remember, we prepare them for the future. But believe you me, we've got a number of learners whom today are employed, who finished their matrics, who went as far as university.
Wonderful.
Yes, and they come back and brag.
Do they come back to the school?
They do. I'll be finishing my 3 years at Westrand. Some of them, I don't know them. And they come, they're like, ma'am, how are you? Oh, you're the new principal. Look, that's my matric certificate. Wow. Wow. Just that one child, just make it for you. There will be no monetary value that will pay for what we are doing as educators at Westrand. One learner who doesn't even know how to communicate, put that eye gaze. The minute they know how to communicate, for us, that's success.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because this child didn't have a voice. But today, she's able to talk with his eyes using this gadget to tell you about himself, what he likes, and to talk to you for the first time. And you being able to understand. It allows them to get out there to mingle with other children with confidence.
Thank you, Ms. Mngomezulu, and your staff for everything that you do at the Westrand School.
You're welcome. We really appreciate you being here.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
PEP is encouraging even more young girls to aim high, now in all 9 provinces across South Africa.
PEP Mini Netball, aim high.
TMS family, PEP Mini Netball is back and bigger than ever with over 40 festivals across 9 provinces. This incredible initiative is in partnership with South African Schools Netball to give girls under 7, under 8 and under 9 the confidence, skills and joy to fall in love with netball from an early age. PEP Mini Netball is all about building friendships and boosting confidence on and off the court. That's how PEP makes life better. Stay tuned to TMS to see the great work that this initiative is doing for players and communities all over Mzansi. You can also go to www.pepstores.com/pages/mini-netball for all the details.
Celebrate mothers every day with Telkom this month of May. Get the Huawei Nova Y72S on Flex on 2 for only $269 per month. Plus, get 20 gigs free once-off data and a free 500 Rand accessories voucher. Sign up or renew to any of our limited contract deals, and you could win one of 12 spa vouchers valued at 10,000 Rand each. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za, download the My Telkom app, or go to any Telkom shop. Telkom, possible begins here.
Monet, Maritz en Pallesa, julle is eintlik die rede hoekom ons vandag in Creersdorp is. So please tell me about Pluckies for Pallesa and what inspired you to launch it?
Carla, it's such a privilege to have you at our school today. So Pallesa is a 13-year-old turning 14 this year, and she's the same age as my daughter. And when Pallesa came into my class this year, I just knew that I need to step in and help Pallesa get a new wheelchair. Pallesa is such a wonderful person. She makes me want to be a better person. And Pallesa actually wasn't seated correctly in her old wheelchair. And that made it very difficult for her to communicate with her peers, also to engage in classroom activities. So we just knew that this is a movement that we need to start. Maybe it's because I'm a teacher and I love the alliteration of the P and the P. So Pluckies for Pallesa came to light with Pallesa just being a great person and needed help.
Wonderful. And I love coming to Krugersdorp and a school like yours because a lot of times as grown-ups we get lost in the source and stuff. So between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock, these kids come to Westrand school, but what does a normal day look like for a kid like Pallesa?
Well, Carla, I think the most important thing to remember is that Pallesa cannot do anything herself. So she constantly needs support. And with her barrier to learning and her barrier towards her disability, it's actually very important to remember that from the moment that she wakes up until she goes to sleep at night, she needs assistance. She needs feeding assistance, she needs changing assistance, and then also a wonderful way of her to learn is to be seated in the correct way. A normal day like hers will be full of lots of challenges, but if they have the correct devices, if the correct seating methods are placed in order, then Pallesa can really live very normal life.
So we've gone through the school and saw that the wheelchairs or anything that a child needs in the school really does cost. So what are the costs and complexities for getting extra help for a child to be at Westrand School?
Oh, Cara, that is, I think, the most challenging part. A buggy like Pallesa's buggy is currently an amount of 44,000 Rand. We have a partner, Wheelchairs on the Run in Roodepoort, which is such an awesome company, which helps us a lot with our buggies and also bringing their price down to help us in that way. But computers, devices, buggies, we are talking about anything from 20,000 Rand up. And the most expensive wheelchair that I saw was over 300,000 Rand. So we're talking about big money. And that's why movements and fundraisers like Pluckies for Pallesa is such an important part of my heart.
So if there's any viewers watching this morning, they're sitting in their home or they're rushing to get to work, how can viewers take part? How can you support? And not just in a monetary way, but I think awareness is also really important.
Carla, that word is such an amazing word to use, and that is why Pluckies for Pallesa also is such a driven part of our lives, is because of awareness. People, they don't have an idea. They don't have an idea of what the school is about, what the teachers at the school do, what our therapists are doing every day. And the awareness of CP is such a major part. So yes, of course, any donations to the school is absolutely welcome, and especially to our movement, Pluckies for Pallesa. We have a few merchandise that the viewers can purchase, anything from Pluckies, which is an old flip-flop, to our blankets. Yeah, I think just getting involved into knowing what CP is and also what kind of life the children and the adults even with CP live in. Unfortunately, Pallesa can't verbalize, so she can say a yes and a no. Pallesa's very good at blinking, so a 1 blink means a yes, 2 blinks will mean a no.
Okay.
And then if you give her a little bit of time, she will respond with a yes and a no. And I got a I love you a few times.
No ways, Pallesa. That's cool. Pallesa, is your favorite color pink? Yes, it is.
She has a little sister.
Do you have a little sister? Oh,
no, that's a no. It might be a cousin, or it might be a family member, or even her mommy. Even her mommy. Her mommy is an amazing, amazing person. We're also privileged to have Wheelchair on the Run, refurbishing her old chair. This chair was sent home for her. It's the first time in her life, in almost 14 years, that she has a chair at home, which is absolutely amazing.
And it's probably so comfortable at home in this chair, right, Pallesa?
That's
wonderful.
Definitely. Yes.
So now I'm just going to check if there is no infection in both ears, all right? You just sit still. I'm just going to look, okay? Okay, now we're going to go inside the booth to check your hearing, all right? Let's go. You listen to the beep beep sound, and this is your button. So every time you hear a beep beep sound, you press the button for me, all right? Okay. Good.
So when we want to know if you want to ask someone a question, you're going to look for the question mark. We want to do our greetings. And now on this page, where's all the questions you can ask someone? Can you find one? Only the questions.
Would you like a drink?
That's a question because there's a question mark.
Would you like a drink?
And what did you ask?
Did you have a nice time?
Did you have a nice time? Because there's a question mark. So what do you like?
Cartoons.
You like the Popeyes.
Which one is that? What animal was that? It's the...
I'm talking to Maurice about the importance of having the right wheelchair and the right equipment for the children at Westrand School. Maurice, thank you so much that we can have this conversation. So eersins, hoekom is dit belangrik vir 'n kind om die regte rolstoel te hê?
If we look at our children, regardless of their physical diagnosis, they spend a considerable amount of time in their wheelchairs. So wheelchair seating isn't a once-off seating solution or a one-size-fits-all. The wheelchair actually becomes an extension of their body, because they spend the most of their time in the wheelchair. So depending on the severity of muscle stiffness, like we see in our learners with cerebral palsy, diagnosed with spasticity, or those with involuntary movements, make seating actually very complex at times. We want to teach them that they have a voice. And if you are not going to advocate for yourself and making people know what your needs are, people are not going to intuitionally know that that is the help you need. So we encourage them to be independent, to voice their needs, to say what I need you to help me with. Because we don't think of today, we think of next year, and we think about when caregivers are not there to take care of them, then they are responsible for their own well-being as well.
What a wonderful morning in Krugersdorp. If you want to support, learn more about these incredibly differently abled children at the Westrand School in Krugersdorp, you are more than welcome to take out your phone right now, scan the QR code, donate and learn more. This is The Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Heartburn is caused by stomach acids rising. Gaviscon double action neutralizes these.
So do antacids.
Gaviscon also forms a Gavistop barrier, which stops the acid from rising again for up to 4 hours.
Gaviscon. Stop heartburn fast and stop it coming back.
You gotta show me love. Wat wil jy in elk geval vir haar sê?
Ek weet nie, maar ek sal begin met... Ag, na my kennis, ek is jou pa.
Ek het alles in my vermoë gedoen om jou te vind. Ek sal jou nooit vergeet nie. Jy het geen idee hoe baie ek jou op hierdie oomblik haat nie. Jy sal betaal vir wat jy aan my en my broer gedoen het.
Ek het eers probeer om haar nie te sien nie. Dit was verniet. Ek het selfs op haar geskree. Hoekom gaan hierdie gevoel net nie weg nie?